So we've got the controls in front of us. I'm literally doing a tiny little movements. It's not this, because that'll stall the bike. Okay, I can show you that if you want. So I put it in first. I mean, in the beginning, just cut yourself some slack, do whatever feels comfortable when you're literally first time trying to get the bike moving. So basically, this clutch lever, you want to be super sensitive. I'm only using 2 fingers. I'd highly recommend you probably use all of your fingers for your braking and your clutch. So your brake lever and your clutch lever, use all 4 fingers basically, because when you do your training or for your test on the day, they're going to probably tell you they want to see you using all 4 fingers. We can get into a debate about that, but it's their rules. I covered that in the 4th part of my video series on what I learned in my first year. Told a story about my horrendous day when I went to do my test. Basically, I'd done loads of training using 2 fingers, having my fingers over the levers, that kind of thing, and I'd done months of training doing it that way, and then I rocked up on the day and they were telling me to use all 4 fingers, which really threw me off. So good tip for you is use all 4 fingers, just so that you don't fall into the same issue that I did. Regardless of how many fingers you're using, I mean, in the beginning, just cut yourself some slack, do whatever feels comfortable when you're literally first time trying to get the bike moving. So just giving it a little bit of rear brake, and I've gone down into first, and I'm not giving any throttle whatsoever. Okay, I'm just releasing out the clutch, yeah, just letting the clutch out, and now we're moving forwards. Okay, and I'm just pushing with my feet very gently just to keep the bike balanced. But once we get up to a certain speed, like now, I've actually taken my feet off the ground and we are racing. So we're going pretty slow, we're just in first gear, but this is literally the idle revs of the bike, of the engine doing the business. So I'm not giving it any throttle. Yeah, and what I can do is I can modulate my speed by just pulling that clutch in. Now we've disengaged the engine, we're starting to slow down. Okay, and then I can give it a little bit more, and now we're moving forwards. So you can actually ride around just using the clutch to modulate your speed between it being engaged and not being engaged. But yeah, I mean, the bike's not super happy, so we're just going uphill here, so I'm just going to give it a tiny bit of revs just so we don't stall. But that's only because we're going uphill. If we were on the flat, it would have just putted around. Happy days. Just for, so I'll do that again. So clutch in, and then I'm just gonna release the clutch ever so slightly just so we can get that parting point. If you do it too fast, you're going to stall. So I'm going super slow. I'm still letting it out. I'm still letting it out, and now it's completely gone. Okay, so the clutch is out. I'm not giving it any gas. Yeah, and because we've got a few revs with the engine with that idle, it is putting along. It's not too happy because we're going uphill, but it is just putting along. So I'm just giving it a tiny bit of gas with my right hand, twisting the throttle. We'll just go down here where it's a bit more flat, and I'll show you again. Okay, so I'm just going to get away from the bend just so no one flies around, takes me out kind of thing. So I pulled the clutch in, I'm pulling the brake, coming to a stop, got my foot down. So I'm just going to prop it up into neutral. So now I can let go of everything. So we've got the controls in front of us. I'm literally doing a tiny little movements. It's not this, because that'll stall the bike. Okay, I can show you that if you want. So I put it in first, and there we go, buckaroo. There we go, buckaroo. Let that out way too fast. So I'm putting the clutch in. So this is where you stalled at the lights, big traffic. Oh no, what am I doing? Okay, 4K. Okay, kickstand's up. Key is in the on position. Kill switch is in the go position. What gear am I in? Okay, I'm in first gear. What do I do? What do I do? Shall I try and find neutral? Oh, I can't find neutral. Oh no, this. Okay, a cheat. Pull the clutch in. Side stand down. Oh, I must have knocked that when I stalled. Okay, key. Okay, keys in the on position, kill switch in the go position. Oh, first gear, what do? Oh, let's try and get into neutral. Okay, we're in neutral. Right, I'm going to pull the clutch in and start the bike up. Okay, that can be a stress in traffic, so it's good to practice. I find that 4K thing really helps, just because there's 4 things I've got to check. Right, so we're in neutral at the moment, and all I'm going to do, hit down once. Let's go into first gear. We'll cover the gears in more detail in another video, but right now I'm not going to give any throttle. I'm just letting go of that clutch lever super slow, and you can see the bike wants to move forwards because there is a little bit, you know, the engine is ticking over. So now I'm just pushing with my toes just to keep my balance, and now my feet are coming up. Yep, and I'm still letting the clutch out, taking ages to do that just so it doesn't stall. And there you go, we're putting along. And if I want to slow down, I just pull the clutch in. But you can go around for ages just practicing this. Clutch control is a big part of riding a motorbike. Now, if you want to ride a motorcycle well, clutch control, super important. And you can just practice finding that biting point, that friction zone. And whenever you're doing your slow speed maneuvers, especially for your test, they're going to want you to learn that friction zone. Super important, you know. They're going to teach you a few other things like using the rear brake as well. But this is where I did all my practice for my test, all my U-turns, that kind of thing. But I'm not giving it any gas, and you can see we're going, you know. You could get to wherever you wanted to go doing this. It'd just take a while. Yeah. But literally, you know, I'm holding on just to keep my balance because we're not going fast enough that the bike wants to stay up on its own steam. But I haven't touched the accelerator, the throttle at all. So I'm just cruising around. The bike's doing its thing. There used to be those videos a while back where people walk next to their cars. Same principle. Get the thing going. Obviously this is on 2 wheels, so it'd topple over. But if I pull the clutch in, we're slowing down, okay? See the speed starting to drop. And then as soon as I want to, I can just start letting go of the clutch again. Just letting it out super slow, checking my mirrors so I know there's no one up behind me. See our speed's increasing, and now the clutch is fully out. Just going to take control of the situation here. So there's a runner. And that's it. You can go for days doing that, just using the clutch. It's gonna hurt at first. My hands hurt for the first 6 months, I reckon, just because I wasn't used to these movements and the muscles never really been used in that way. So it does take a little while to get that strength, and your hands might hurt. Some people say it's because you're holding on too tight. You know, I spent years riding quads, teaching people how to ride those quads, and it wasn't from holding on too tight, just my muscles weren't used to it. But it could be from holding on too tight, you know. Maybe I was, maybe you are, I don't know. If something's hurting, you just do your best to try and figure out what's causing it, and then, you know, either your muscles are going to get stronger or you've got to fix what you're doing wrong. But it could just be that they're weak, or maybe you are holding on too tight. But yeah, it's amazing what you can do with just that little bit of clutch control. Why isn't it starting? Well, there we go. Okay, so we're going to run through our procedure.